Melissa Scott has 7 of these trail cameras set up around her property. This week, she says the RCMP showed up asking for footage dating back 5 days before Lily and Jack Sullivan were reported missing from their home.
I did mention to them that I was very happy to see them and glad that they were canvassing a little further and looking at trail cam footage, and they did respond saying that they probably should have been around earlier.
The children live in Lansdowne Station, an extremely rural area about 140 kilometers northeast of Halifax. As the crow flies, Scott's property is just over 5 kilometers from there. It's more than an 8-kilometer drive, but the two areas are also connected by train tracks.
They also asked our vehicles. They wanted to identify all of our vehicles so they could rule out local traffic.
The RCMP declined an interview and also refused to answer specific questions about what investigators are looking for on trail camera footage or why they're asking for video dating back 5 days before the kids were reported missing. The force says it isn't providing any further details right now to protect the integrity of its investigation.
What if these kids, Lily and Jack, were your children? This isn't just about Darren Gettys. This is about the architecture of a narrative, carefully engineered confusion, timelines distorted, facts diluted, all constructed by a man now positioned not as a bystander, but as a potential mastermind. A man who didn't just embed himself in the story. He helped write the script. Such disappearance and suffering is something no child should ever experience, and as such, we are committed to make sure that justice is served and the truth uncovered. But we cannot do it without you. So join us today. Register with your DNA by clicking that subscription button. Share your thoughts with us in the comments and like this video to give it more push. Now the news. At 5:12 a.m. local time, a covert unit initiated Phase Omega. No sirens, no insignia, just shadowed movement. 2 unmarked vans parked with visual access to all 3 exit routes of Gettys' residence. Inside, tactical gear, encrypted comms, facial recon AI preloaded with known associates. Silent prep, eyes on the target. By 5:47 a.m., aerial thermal confirmed. Gettys was inside. Lights off. 0 digital output. At 6:11 a.m., a precise power flicker surgically executed on the local grid. Not enough to trigger alarm bells, but enough to blind the homegrown surveillance Gettys himself likely installed. 6:56 a.m. Green light. 3 breach points. Flashbang. In 93 seconds, the property was cleared. And there he was. Gettys. Awake. Calm. Waiting. Not a man surprised. A man who knew. What happened next won't be in the official reports. What Gettys said is classified. That sources inside the CMP confirm. He spoke like someone who didn't fear the end, only feared the truth getting out first. Because every day this story stays buried, the disappearance of Lily Sullivan fades deeper into digital memory. And every name still missing becomes another inconvenient footnote. A crusader for truth. Or its assassin. Gettys presented himself online as a voice for the voiceless. But was it a smokescreen? Evidence suggests he redirected forums, planted false leads, inserted doubt into chat threads, and archived deleted posts from parents, journalists, even law enforcement. This wasn't activism. It was information warfare. He wasn't just watching the case. He was curating the chaos. You didn't notice it. That's the point. Now, with Gettys in custody, silence is spreading again, but not from him. Advocates are quiet. Forums wiped clean. Devices remotely wiped. IP trails vanish. The CMP's operation wasn't just about Gettys. It was about containment. Internal documents refer to it as phase. Bring them home. Not a recovery. A reversal. Think you saw something. Heard something. Felt something. Good. Because coincidence is the first alibi of the guilty. You know that text you almost sent? The one you deleted? It could have been the bridge. The one Reddit thread they buried. The pink blanket Lily wore days before she vanished. It matters. This isn't about guilt. It's about justice delayed so long it's begun to rot. What the public still doesn't know, or hasn't connected, is this. Lily Sullivan is one of 6 minors who disappeared under similar circumstances in the last 14 months. All had sudden digital silence. Phones dead within minutes of vanishing. Last locations within a 10-block radius of safe zones. Forum threads that were later deleted or archived by community moderators. All tied to aliases linked to Gettys' behavioral profile. This is no longer speculation. This is systemic. So ask yourself this. Why has the story gone quiet since Gettys' detainment? Where are the follow-up press briefings? Where's the public release of evidence? And most chilling, why are former advocates now going dark? Deleting posts, removing their videos, distancing themselves. Because Gettys didn't just mislead. He compromised people, used emotional leverage to manipulate online communities. He built a strategy around silence. And that silence? It's still working. Because arresting Gettys wasn't the end. It was the trigger. And now the real unraveling begins. This isn't about conspiracy anymore. It's about willful blindness, and the systems that allowed a man like Gettys to infiltrate truth under the guise of defending it. So here's what you can do right now. Don't wait for the RCMP to knock. Don't wait until your conscience screams louder than your fear. Because maybe Gettys wasn't working alone. Maybe the next 2 hours reveal something bigger. Something we weren't supposed to see. Truth doesn't whisper. It detonates. And when it does, it won't ask permission. Truth doesn't whisper. It detonates. And this time, it needs you to light the fuse. Justice for Lily and Jack Sullivan.